is more of an advanced class. Okay, but don't worry if you're not advanced. We can go slowly. If you're watching this with me, you could definitely ask questions as we go. Okay, but let's just call this advanced English. Okay. All right. So let's start with the sentence, which is she postponed the visit until Saturday. She postponed the visit until Saturday. She postponed the visit until Saturday. Now, if you speak a Latin language, like maybe Italian or Spanish or French, you probably could easily understand the word postpone. Okay, but if you don't know postpone, it's like delay, or it's like reschedule, or make for a later time. Postpone. She postponed the visit until Saturday. So originally the visit was Friday or Thursday, and she's changing it. She's changing the visit to Saturday. Let's see. Mikhail says 149. Okay, yeah, you're right, 149. I thought maybe you were trying to tell me something. Like you missed 149, but it's there. Okay, what do you mean by that? Okay, so we have she postponed the visit until Saturday. Now, it's perfectly fine to say postpone in English, just like you could in in Romance languages. But we have our own special word for postpone, which is put off. It's a phrasal verb. Put off. Let's change the sentence. Let's use the phrasal verb put off. How will you change this sentence? The original sentence is she postponed the visit until Saturday. Let's use the phrasal verb put off, which means the same thing. She put off. She put off the visit. She put off the visit until Saturday. She put off the visit until Saturday. Now, the student said, oh, I'm so confused. Is that in the present or the past or the future? Put is an irregular verb. It's always put. Put, put, put. So every form is put. But if it had been in the present, there would have been an S. It would have been she puts off. So this is how we know it's in the past, because there's no S. It's not puts off, it's put off. So we know it's in the past. She put off the visit until Saturday. Now, this is a separable phrasal verb. You can take the object and you can put it inside the verb. So let's do the inside position. Let's say she put the visit off. She put the visit off until Saturday. She put the visit off until Saturday. How would you make a yes-no question with that sentence? She put the visit off until Saturday. Did she? Did she put the visit? Did she put the visit off? Did she put the visit off until Saturday? Let's answer no. How will you tell me no? No, she. No, she didn't. No, she didn't put off. No, she didn't put off the visit. No, she didn't put off the visit until Saturday. No, she didn't put off the visit until Saturday. Okay. Now let's make a when until question. So if you're looking at the screen, you can see it's when ... until. Okay. Not until when, but when ... until. So this is when did she put the visit off? When did she put the visit off until? When did she put the visit off until? It's okay if you want to say until when did she put off the visit, but most people probably wouldn't say it like that. Most people will probably say, when did she put the visit off until? Okay, now we're doing reported speech for this exercise. And if you have a verb in the simple past, in reported speech, you have to change it to past perfect. You have to change it to past perfect. So if we add, he asked us. He asked us when. He asked us when she had put the visit off until. This is the reported speech uh, version of the question. It's complicated. And if you are confused about something, then please just ask a question in the comments, and I will be happy to explain it further. But unless you ask, I'm just going to keep going, and we'll just imagine that you're familiar with how to do reported speech, unless somebody speaks up. Okay? So let's try another example. Here's a new sentence, which is, he will review the results. He will review the results with his boss. With his boss. With his boss. He will review. He'll review the results with his boss. He'll review the results with his boss. He'll review the results with his boss. Okay. Now, it's okay to use review here. That's perfectly fine. But a lot of times we will use the phrasal verb look over, which means review or examine. Look over. Let's change this sentence using look over. So the original sentence is, he will review the results with his boss. But let's use the phrasal verb look over. He will look over. He'll look over the results. He'll look over the results with his boss. He'll look over the results with his boss. How would you make a yes-no question? How will you make a yes-no question with that sentence? Mikhail has made an example where he says he will review the results for his boss. What's the difference between saying review the results with his boss and for his boss? If you say with his boss, the two people are doing the action together. But if you say for his boss, it sounds like he's doing a favor for his boss. He's doing a job, and his boss will receive the benefit. So that's a little word, for or with, but it changes everything. It changes the entire idea. So we have, he will look over the results with his boss. Okay, that means examine or review, something like that. And this is a separable phrasal verb. So can you try to take the object and put it inside the verb? How will you do the inside position with he'll look over the results? Do the inside position. He'll look the results over. Put the object inside the verb. He'll look the results over. He'll look the results over with his boss. With his boss. He'll look the results over with his boss. How would you make a yes-no question with that sentence? Let's make a yes-no question. He will look over the results with his boss. Will he? Will he look? Will he look the results over with his boss? Will he look the results over with his boss? Let's answer no. How will you tell me no? No, he will not. No, he won't. No, he won't. No, he won't. No, he will not. No, he won't. No, he won't look the results over with his boss. Okay, now let's make since we said no, we answered no. No, he won't look the results over with his boss. Let's make a who, ... with question. You can see here on the screen how this should look. Okay, so we start with the question word who, and we're going to finish our question with the word with. Who will he? Who will he look? Who will he look the results over? Who will he look the results over with? It's very strange and very different from most languages, but that's the most typical way to do it? Who will he look the results over with? Now, some people will tell you that's wrong, but that's how everybody does it. So I don't know how wrong it can be if everyone is doing it this way. Those people who say that it's wrong will tell you it should be with whom. So that's technically the correct English, is with whom will he look over the results? But that isn't a very common way of making the question. Okay, now so let's stick with who will he look the results over with? Who will he look the results over with? This is our question. Let's change it to reported speech. Okay, in reported speech, you change will to would. So if we add, she asked them, how will you add our question, which is, who will he look the results over with? She asked them who. She asked them who he would. She asked them who he would look. She asked them who he would look the results over with. Oh, that's complicated. Can you do that? She asked them who he would. Mikhail is saying, who will look the results over with? You are missing the subject. Okay, so who, because he's the two people in this activity. There's he, and then there's the mystery person who, and you have forgotten to use the mystery person, or the he. Sorry, you've forgotten the he. Who he will look the results over with. Who he will look the results over with. She asked them who he will. Who he will look the results over with. Two people. You have to mention both. Okay. And we can make a contraction with would. She asked them who he'd look the results over with. She asked them, and them, asked them, it sounds like this when people are talking. Asked them. She asked them who he'd. So it's very different from the way it's written. The way it's spoken is very different. She asked him who he'd look. She asked him who he'd look the results over with. Okay. All right, let's try another example. Now we have a sentence here, which is, we may continue at the same level our excellent service. So this idea of continue at the same level, or maybe maintain, if you know that word, maintain, means like keep it at the right level. Keep it at this level. Don't go up, don't go down. Keep it right here. Keep it at this level. And there's a very common phrasal verb that we use for this idea of keep things, maintain things, keep them at this level. And that is keep up something. Keep up something. So we have, instead of we may continue at the same level our excellent service, let's use the phrasal verb keep up, which means keep it at this level. Don't go up, don't go down, stay right here. Keep it up, keep it up. Maintain it, don't change it. So we may keep up our excellent service. We may keep up our excellent service. We may keep up our excellent service. Maintain it. Don't go up, don't go down, stay right here. Don't change. We may keep up our excellent service. Now, this is a separable phrasal verb, so we can put the object inside of the verb. Keep our excellent service up. Keep our excellent service up. Keep our excellent service up. We may keep our excellent service up. We may keep our excellent service up. Let's make a how question with this sentence? How? Can you make a how question with this sentence? How? How may we? How may we keep? How may we keep our excellent service? How may we keep our excellent service up? Okay. Now, if you see on the screen, when we were doing this exercise in a class, my student said, when I asked him, make a how question, his original answer was, how do we may keep? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Can you identify a problem with that? If you have the word may, which is a modal, you follow different rules than if you just have a verb like keep. So do, that's a question word that you use for do verbs. But if you have may, just like can or will or might, these are all modals, should, would, could. You make the question differently. So he was combining two different ways of making questions. So we don't say, how do we keep? This is, how may we keep? How may we keep our excellent service up? Okay. And let's change this to reported speech. Let's add, we asked them. We asked them. Now, in reported speech, if you have the word may, you should change it to the word might. So when we do reported speech, when we add, we asked them, or asked them, that's how it sounds usually in spoken English, we asked them, then the answer is, we asked them how we might keep our excellent service up. We asked them how we might keep our excellent service up. Okay, let's move on to another example here. Here's a new sentence, which is, they always investigate new products at trade shows. They always investigate new products at trade shows. What is a trade show? Trade is like business. So usually we talk about trade as an industry. You have the medical trade, which is the medical business. You have the technology trade, which is the technology business. The food trade, or the restaurant trade, which is the food business. And sometimes they have shows where they want to, factories want to sell the latest technology or their latest invention, and they want to show it to people who own restaurants or computer stores or whatever the trade is. And these are called trade shows. Trade shows. So trade is a specific industry. Okay, so let's go back to our sentence, which is, they always investigate new products at trade shows. So if maybe they work in the technology industry, they might go to a big building and see all the new latest things that companies are offering for people working in technology, and that is a trade show. What is a phrasal verb, which means like investigate or look at something to see, do I want to buy this? Am I interested? Does this thing interest me? Do I want this thing? That's check out. So when you check something out, you're investigating it to say, can I use this? Do I want to buy it? Is it good for me? Is it useful for me? So let's change our sentence, which is, let's see, they always investigate new products at trade shows, and let's use check out. Let's use the phrasal verb, check out. They always check out new products at trade shows. They always check out new products at trade shows. Now this is a separable phrasal verb. That means that you can take the object and you can put the object inside the verb. Let's do the inside position. They always check new products out. They always check new products out at trade shows. They always check new products out at trade shows. How will you make a basic yes/no question with this sentence. Do they? Do they always? Do they always check new products out? Do they always check new products out at trade shows? Let's answer no. No. No, they. No, they don't. No, they don't always. No, they don't always check out. Or, no, they don't always check new products out. No, they don't always check new products out at trade shows. Let's make a where question. Where check out? Where always check out new products? Where do they? Where do they always? Where do they always check out? Where do they always check new products out? Where do they always check new products out? Okay, now let's change this to a reported speech question. And because we're using simple present, they check out. They always check out. We should change our verb to simple past. He asked her. He asked her. He asked her where they always checked out. He asked her where they always checked out new products. Mikhail is saying that the letters are too small. Let me try to make it bigger. I don't know if this helps. Let's see. Is that better, Mikhail? Can you see that better? I don't think I can make it bigger than this without losing some space. Okay. So we have he asked her where they always checked new products out. Okay. Now the person I was doing this class with, he is from South America, and this is in the southern part of South America, Uruguay and Argentina, maybe Chile. I'm not sure about Chile. This is a very common problem that they have a trouble saying ja, ja, ja. So we were using the name John, but he couldn't say that. He was saying something like Jean, something like French Jean or Irish Sean, it sounded like, but definitely not John. So the way to imagine saying this, let me just write this. I don't know if this is a problem for you or not. It depends on what kind of language your original language is. Oh, I forgot to put an N. There's an N at the end of that. Oh, I spelled that very badly. Let me try that again. I don't know what I did. Oh, I think the spell check changed it. Yeah. So I wrote it, but then the spell check said, that's not a word. Okay. But to make the CH sound, usually what you have to do is imagine that there's a D in the front. So it's not John, but John. John. You have to start with a D sound. So if your language doesn't have that sound, it could be very difficult to make it. Just imagine a D first. John. John. That's how you fix that problem. Okay, let's get rid of this. All right, let's try another example here. We have, where did it go? She interrupted John. That's our word. She interrupted John during the meeting. She interrupted John during the meeting. Okay. Now there's a phrasal verb which means interrupt. It's very common, and that is cut off. Cut off. Cut off. Cut off. She interrupted John during the meeting. Let's change this sentence using the phrasal verb cut off. Cut off. How would you change it? She cut off John during the meeting. She cut off John during the meeting. Now this is a separable phrasal verb. You can take the object and you can put it inside the verb. So let's do the inside position. She cut John off. She cut John off. She cut John off during the meeting. She cut John off during the meeting. Now let's make a why question with this sentence. Why? Why did she? Why did she cut? Why did she cut John off? Why did she cut John off during the meeting? Why did she cut John off during the meeting? Okay. Now let's do a reported speech question. So our original sentence, she cut John off, that's in the simple past. You change simple past to past perfect. We asked her why. We asked her why she had. We asked her why she had cut John off. We asked her why she had cut John off during the meeting. And we can make a contraction with she had, she'd. We asked her why she'd cut John off during the meeting. We asked her why she'd cut John off during the meeting. All right. Let's move on to another example. Here's a new sentence. We can discuss the details of the project next week. We can discuss the details of the project next week. Okay, now this is the same person from South America. He's from Argentina. And they have a problem with this j sound. Okay, but actually this word is very difficult for most people to pronounce. It doesn't matter if you're from South America or from some other place. This is always a tricky word for people to pronounce because there are a lot of little hidden secret sounds in this word. So let's say, because it's an important word, you'll use it quite a bit at work. So let's say it slowly. Project. 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 We can discuss the details of the project next week. Now, there's a phrasal verb that we can use which means discuss, talk about. Talk over. Talk over. How will you change this sentence using talk over? We can discuss the details of the project next week. We can talk over the details. We can talk over the details of the project. We can talk over the details of the project next week. We can talk over the details of the project next week. Okay, now this is a separable phrasal verb, so we can take the object and put it inside the verb. Let's do the inside position. We can talk the details of the project over. We can talk details of the project over next week. We can talk the details of the project over next week. Now, we had a little problem when we were doing this because when I asked him to do the inside position, his first answer was, we can talk the details over of the project next week. And this is a problem that you have to think about is what really is your object? Because if you put the wrong thing inside the verb, it will sound a little bit strange. And that sounds strange. We can talk the details of the project. We can talk the details over of the project next week. The way that you can know if it's correct is if you try to substitute. Okay? What would be the substitution of the details? Is that he, she, it, they? It's them because it's plural and it's an object. So tell me if you understand this sentence. This is how you know that this is wrong. We can talk them over of the project next week. So if you leave of the project outside of the verb, it doesn't mean anything. It sounds strange. This is how you know of the project belongs inside the verb with everything. Because you can say, we can talk them over next week. We can talk them over next week. We can talk the details of the project over next week. It matters what you put inside of the phrasal verb. You have to think about that. And that's a pretty tricky thing to do. We can talk them over next week. We can talk the details of the project over next week. Let's make a yes/no question with that sentence. Can we? Can we talk them? Can we talk them over? Can we talk them over next week? Let's answer no. No, we can't. No, we can't talk them. No, we can't talk them over. No, we can't talk them over. No, we can't talk them over next week. Okay, let's make a when question. When can we? When can we? When can we talk? When can we talk them over? 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 Now, let's change this to reported speech. When you have a reported speech situation, you change can to could. They asked us. They asked us when we could. They asked us when we could talk them over. They asked us when we could talk them over. They asked us when we could talk them over. Okay, let's try another example. Here's a new sentence. He put in the garbage the old printer. He put in the garbage the old printer. Now, what is the phrasal verb that you can use which means put something in the garbage? Throw away. Throw away. He put in the garbage the old printer. Try to change that sentence using the phrasal verb throw away. He threw away the old printer. He threw away. Now, if you say threw away, that's a lot of vowel sounds together. Listen to me say that very slowly. Threw away. The W has a sound. It's W. Ooh, ooh. Threw away. It's really hard to say. Threw away. Threw away. He threw away the old printer. Okay, well, this is a separable phrasal verb. So we can take the object and put it inside the verb. Let's do that. How would you try to say the sentence with the object and the inside position? He threw the old printer away. He threw the old printer away. Threw the old printer away. Let's make a why question with that sentence. Why? Why did he? Why did he? Why did he? Why did he throw? Why did he throw the old printer away? Why did he throw the old printer away? Why did he throw the old printer away? Now, let's change this to a reported speech situation. In the original sentence, he threw the old printer away, we have the simple past. In reported speech, you change simple past to past perfect. Had thrown. She asked me. She asked me why. She asked me why he had. Why he had. Why he had. Why he had. She asked me why he had thrown the old printer away. She asked me why he had thrown the old printer away. All right. Let's move on to our next sentence. For some reason, I guess I don't remember what happened here, but there must have been a difficulty in pronouncing the word unfavorable. So let's just go through that very quickly. Unfavorable. 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 I don't remember why he was having trouble with that word. What do you think? Is that easy or difficult to pronounce? Unfavorable. Seems easy to me. Okay, so now let's try a new sentence here, which is, she will omit the unfavorable information. She will omit the unfavorable information. So if you speak a Latin language, like a language from Latin, like Italian or Spanish or Portuguese or French, then probably you know the word omit. But if you don't speak a Latin language, it could mean like not include. So when you say she will omit the unfavorable information, that means she will not include the unfavorable information. She will not tell people. She will censor the unfavorable information. And you can use the word omit in English, it's perfectly fine. But most of the time, I think we would prefer to use the phrasal verb leave out. Leave out means not include. Don't include. So let's change this sentence. She will omit the unfavorable information. But let's use the phrasal verb leave out. How will you change that sentence? She will leave out. She'll leave out. She'll leave out. She'll leave out the unfavorable information. She'll leave out the unfavorable information. This is a separable phrasal verb, so you can put the object inside the verb. Let's do the inside position. She will leave the unfavorable information out. She'll leave the unfavorable information out. Okay, and now let's make a how leave out question. How? How leave out? How will she? How will she leave out? How will she leave the unfavorable information out? Listen to how this would sound in conversational English. How will she? How will she? How will she? How will she leave it out? Leave it out. Leave it out. How will she leave it out? How will she leave it out? Okay, I guess that's when our class finished, because that's the final part of this. I know that this is the start of a new class here. And this is an advanced person, this next class.